Now let's bring you some perspective on the challenges facing clubs in the EFL right now and the impact that many people are feeling on their mental health. Glad to say Graham Daniels, Director at League 2 Cambridge and General Director of Christians in Sport, joins us now. Graham, great to see you. First of all, Graham, let's start with comments made this morning by Salford co-owner Gary Neville, who says he's 99% sure that there will be no more football in Leagues 1 or 2 this season. Look, how are you at Cambridge dealing with that uncertainty?
Well, firstly, I'd imagine Gary has got a pretty good inside line. He's been pivotal in dealing with this from Salford's perspective. So we'll wait and see, of course. I think from Cambridge United's perspective, obviously there are massive financial pressures, as there are in all League 1 and 2 clubs. So we have to deal with that. On the other hand, John, we know that we can't have football at any cost because this is people's lives that we're talking about and the risk to people's lives. So there's a tear here. And I think a third thing we're very conscious of is that long term, beyond the physical problems we're facing now, there'll be significant issues of mental health in our communities as football clubs as a result of unemployment and so on. And I think that's where the FA's Heads Up campaign has been fantastic in football, because throughout the football world, we've been at the front of saying, look after people's mental as well as physical health. And I think football will have a big part to play in it. And that's our concern, actually, to make a difference to our culture and our communities.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit more about that. The challenges of the pandemic on mental health are something that we're all very conscious about. I know that you speak about matters of faith and mental wellness. Look, I suppose in your role as Managing Director of Christians in Sport, it's a time where a lot of people are looking for hope. Now, you talk about faith, you talk about the Christian faith within a footballing context. You know all about that world as well. So what hope do you think that faith brings to people?
Well, I think at the heart of the mental health issue that we're dealing with, particularly in professional football at the moment, and I think dealing with it well, all the established research, without exception, all the established research about identity and professional sport shows two things. Number one, elite athletes must know that somebody loves them, whether they win or lose. Your life is consumed with winning or losing, of course, and performing. If somebody loves you independent of your performance, you will have a better balance on life. Secondly, if you can achieve that better balance from unconditional acceptance, what you'll find is that you've got a better vision for life beyond your sport, and it'll just make you a richer human being. Now, if that's critical in professional sport for good health, the Christian sport, of course, fundamentally for 2,000 years, the Christian faith has held to those two things, that you're loved unconditionally by a creator who comes into this world for you, and two, that if you can grasp that you're loved in that way, you can look at the world of sport around you, and I've been in it for 35 years in this context, and say, come on, let's use sport to make our communities and our country and our world a better place. So those two things working together at the heart of Christianity are definitely at the heart of good mental health in professional sport.
Graham, it's a really encouraging message, and a great message to have this Friday afternoon. Listen, we're really thankful for your time. Thank you so much for joining us.
You're welcome. Nice to meet you, John.